So all Feng Shui systems, Feng Shui systems itself, okay, it's a study of how we understand energies or vibrational energies are in our environment, how we could tap to or connect to these energies in our environment. That's the whole purpose. So there are many different schools of Feng Shui since ancient times, and there is a program called Feng Shui Origins that I've done, and that talked about all the lineages and all the history of how Feng Shui has evolved. If you're interested in the history of Feng Shui, you can go and study Feng Shui Origins. But here's a summary of it. The original form of Feng Shui is all studying landforms, how mountains and waters in the Mother Nature environment on our Earth is affected by these star magnetic pools, and how the energy is formed, known as Qi, is then harnessed by aligning through certain direction and locating the property in certain areas. And Feng Shui has evolved through the centuries, okay, up to the Tang Dynasty. The system of Feng Shui is then branched out to landforms and Qi distribution method. Qi distribution means understanding energy flow, whereas landform is understand how land itself, meridian spots or power spots or sacred places on land. So there are different forms of Feng Shui, okay? And of course, all the way down to today, there are so many different schools of Feng Shui and so many different principles. It's hard for the average person to try and figure out which is the most authentic system without studying the history of Feng Shui and to trace back all the different classical literatures all the way back to antiquity just to find out, what was the original form. So instead of doing that, because this is not a program about history of Feng Shui, we're going to focus on the other end of Feng Shui, which is results. Why do we practice Feng Shui? Why do we need Feng Shui? Why do we use Feng Shui? Obviously, we use Feng Shui to improve our lives, correct? I mean, how many of you just use Feng Shui and you don't know what Feng Shui is for? Your neighbor talked about it, your girlfriend talked about it, your boyfriend talked about it, and so you're just, hey, maybe it's something that can change your life, but you know what you want to change. So as long as you understand the new rules of applications, you are technically using period 9 Feng Shui. So whatever I'm sharing with you would be period 9 compliant. Now, if you don't know what period 9 is, it's a time frame between now all the way until 2043, which is now, where you're studying this program, all the way until 2043. Well, after 2043, you might say, what happens then? Well, then there will be the new rules of period 1 Feng Shui. That means the cycle of how we see Feng Shui or how we do the calculations requires a different variation. Okay, so that's the update. So the next so-called update in this Feng Shui will be period 1, which is closer to 2043. Okay.